Good afternoon to everyone in New Zealand and the east coast of Australia, and good morning to those in South Australia, Northern Territory and WA. Welcome. I'm Dave Martin from Central Innovation, and today is about getting more value from an investment that you've already made in SOLIDWORKS by building the capability of the people who use it every day. So across the session, we'll look at instructor-led training, flexible training passports, continuous learning with Solid Professor, private training tailored to your business, and consulting support for challenges beyond a standard course. You'll notice at the top of the screen, there's a Q&A button in the top bar of the webinar screen. If you have any questions, put them in there and we'll answer as many as we can at the end, and we'll also follow up any that we don't get to answer after the session. Okay, so let's get into it. So the value of SOLIDWORKS is not determined only by what the software can do. It's actually determined by how confidently and consistently the team can use it. So when skills are uneven, people create workarounds, they repeat avoidable steps and rely heavily on a small number of experts. Training builds faster execution, consistent quality, and confidence to tackle more complex work. Skills investment is actually a multiplier on the software investment, not a separate add-on. So the other point I wanted to make to you all is that there's no single training format that fits every team or outcome. The right pathway depends on the capability required, the audience, and whether the need is standard, continuous, or specific to the organisation. So I'll start with an overview. Ralph will talk through ongoing development and gap identification through Solid Professor. Kate will cover instructor-led sessions and training passports, and Nikesh will cover our tailored training and consulting. So whilst we're about to cover a number of learning paths, it's no secret that instructor-led training is one of the fastest ways to build a shared foundation because learning is structured, sequenced, and supported by an expert. It's valuable for new users, people moving into a broader role, and teams that need common ways of working. So the thing to do is to start with the work the person needs to perform. Consider their current experience and then select the course that closes the most important gap. Common starting points for us include SOLIDWORKS Essentials, assembly modelling, and simulation. The uplift is strongest when the learner applies new techniques to real work soon afterwards from the training. So, as I said, you need to match the format to the need. New or self-taught users commonly benefit from essentials. An experienced user with a defined challenge may need an advanced or specialist course. A training passport supports varied instructor-led needs across the year, and Solid Professor supports continuous individual development. Private training or consulting also suits the highly business-specific requirements. If the gaps aren't clear, you shouldn't guess. You need to assess first and then invest precisely after that. So the most efficient training plan starts with evidence. Skills Analyzer provides an overall score, category level analysis, strengths, areas for improvement, and personalised learning recommendations. Managers can view team capability and progress. So that turns training from a generic activity into an actual measurable capability program. I'll hand over to Ralph to explain how the Skills Analyzer works and explain how Solid Professor can add value to your efforts to improving your team's capability. Take it away, Ralph.
Thanks, Dave. So today, I'd like to introduce Solid Professor not just as a typical e-learning platform, but also as a capability-led development tool built for engineers and design teams. Before we look at the platform, the most important point is that team development should not begin by choosing courses. It should begin by understanding current capability. So one of the features here, which they've mentioned, the Skills Analyzer, provides an evidence-based view of strengths and gaps at individual and team level. From that, the response may include targeted solid professional learning. You also have instructor-led courses, private training, practical project application, or even consulting support. So overall, Solid Professor helps us measure where capability is today and provides one of the tools used to improve it over time. And yeah, next slide, please. It's more than just a library. It supports a repeatable capability cycle. So in here, you could measure, target, learn, and there's evidence progress. So core features here are the skills analyzer, which identifies strengths and gaps. You also have learning paths here, which serves as a roadmap to achieve learning goals, which also focus on development. Then you have micro learning. So most videos here are under 10 minutes. And then there's this SolWorks add-in feature, both support learning in the flow of work. Lastly, you have portfolios and reassessment. Both help demonstrate progress. So the key is not to assume every gap needs the same response. There's no one size fits all. The evidence determines the plan. Next slide. The comparison between Sol Professor and My SolWorks shows that Sol Professor offers a wide range of content and features, but its real value for managers lies in its structured systems that help employees develop their skills over time. So you have the skills analyzer, which provides a baseline, the structured paths and short lessons help close targeted gaps. Then you have team access via group, updated content, and certification preparation support ongoing development. So let's jump into the platform and see the features in action. I'll just share my screen here. Thanks, Alice. So let's say, imagine I'm the manager and I want to upskill two new employees, Ralph and James. I'll just go to the skills analyzer. This is, sorry, you can see my slides, right? You can see my screen. Yep. So this is the web interface anyway. So I'll just go to under things to do, skills analyzer tests, click test my team, right? And then select a level here or the topic. So let's select basics. You can see the skills analyze here anyway. And then key in your details, hit next, give it a name, hit next, verify the level. Once you hit finish, it will generate a link. You just copy it and send it via email to your employees. Right, so it's an assessment. So after taking the assessment, the users and the managers will receive a completion time, the performance breakdown, and even yeah, the relevant learning recommendations. So you will also receive a dashboard that looks like this here. So at the team level, you can identify patterns rather than reacting to isolated individual results. A narrow gap may be addressed through targeted digital learning. So based on the results here, we could create a group in Solve Professor focused on addressing gaps in parts and features, and then you can add your learners. A broader foundational gap, so for, in this example, it's drawings, may indicate a need for instructor-led training, which we can definitely help you with. And a shared team gap, so let's say both employees have low scores in assemblies, so it may point to private training. So while a wide workload issue may require consulting rather than training. So I'll just quickly show you how to create a group. Just click groups here, hit create, three ways to create a group, use a lesson plan, start from scratch, make a copy, start from scratch, you can basically customize or mix and match. So once group is created, you could go to reporting function. So you can see here the top learners, the top content that they have consumed, and you could also assess or basically just check progress, the overall progress versus per lesson, and then you could also see the results here. All right. So let's say you want them to take the SolWorks certification exam to benchmark their SolWorks skills. So you could basically go to learning path. What's really good here is that other dedicated learning paths here. And what's really good is that the content is well curated. So you could see here The objective is to pass the exam, the overview, you'll see what you learn, the individual courses. So from the fundamentals, essentials, down to the advanced courses, it even shows you how to prepare for the exam. So you could read it as an online reviewer or coach for you to pass or even ace the exam, as mentioned. All right. And after all the training and consultation, you could reassess via group. You could also take the course, you could also take the knowledge test in the course itself, or you could either retake the skills analyzer, right? And then let's say Ralph is more confident in his skills and is meeting a prospect. You could also use portfolio. So Ralph could introduce himself with impact here, add skills with years of experience. Since he's tied up to Sol Professor, then he could add certificates here, and then all the projects with photos or thumbnails and SolWorks skills involved in that particular project. You could add your LinkedIn account. You could always preview before you could share it to your customer. And here's a sample of a portfolio. Yeah, so you could see here tips as well on what to write. And yep, the last feature I'm going to show is the SolWorks add-in. So this gives instant access to training without leaving your SolWorks. So imagine I'm working on my SolWorks, I forgot a modeling technique, and so with the add-in, so it's basically just beside your SolWorks, you could adjust the panel, and while you're working with your SolWorks, you could just shadow and mimic what's in the video. All right. And why Solid Professor? Thanks, Alice. Solid Professor helps users become productive faster and continue developing through curated, searchable, and bookmarkable content. Its role is continuous, targeted development. So the broader capability plan may also include instructor-led training, private training, practical application, and consulting. That's how the digital and instructor-led elements complement rather than compete with each other. So as you can see here, without Solid Professor, learning is slow, fragmented, and frustrating. But with it, it's self-paced, it's structured, and it lets you focus more on your design or what matters most. So there's heaps of features here, but if you want, yeah, you could book a demo with me, or if you want to see the platform using your own team development scenario, yep, just book a demo, or you could just ask me there's my email here as well. So I'll be happy to assist you with all the inquiries. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ralph. So I'll hand over to Kate now, who's going to run everybody through our instructor-led courses.
Hi, everyone. I'm a training coordinator at Central Innovation, and I look after instructor-led courses we run on schedule through the year. I have seen over and over again that nothing brings as much clarity, saves as much time, and gives as much productivity and job satisfaction as instructor-led trainings hands-on. And for mastering CAD engineering design, it's especially true, because SolidWorks is the whole universe of powerful tools and features, and trying to learn it by yourself would take a lot of time, and still you would probably lack full picture and structure. Many times after attending our courses, even customers with 10 years of experience using SolidWorks shared that they have learned a lot of practical insights and workflows they have never come across before. And plus, the more experienced you are, the more practical questions you actually might have. And instructor-led course is the unique chance to get them all answered by an expert and in real time. Dassault Systems, the company that created SolidWorks, are the first to understand that becoming an efficient expert is best achieved by structured training. And that's why they keep investing not only in developing new features to SolidWorks, but also in developing and updating training curriculum to support instructor-led courses. And access to this high-quality training content is exclusive to their trusted partners in each region and in ANZ at Central Innovation. To support your team and to make the most out of your time and your software, every single week of the year, we at Central Innovation allocate our SolidWorks field engineers to run multi-day training courses. This is the space where you will be handheld in real time by an experienced trainer and guided step by step through a systematic, carefully thought through learning process. You can find all our courses on our schedule at training.centralinnovation.com. You'll find all the dates through the year, details, and cost of each course. The most popular course is SOLIDWORKS Essentials. It's in high demand, so we schedule it once a month, and it runs for 5 days in a row. Second popular is our 3-day simulation course on finite elements analysis. We also run it almost every month. Our course on best practices in SOLIDWORKS is also popular. It's often taken by engineers who have been using SOLIDWORKS for many years, but want to refresh and systemize their knowledge and learn productivity tips and tricks. Each of our other courses on schedule is a deep dive into one of the specific modules of SOLIDWORKS. For example, we run a 2-day course dedicated to working with sheet metal, another 3-day course on drawings, 3-day course for deep dive into advanced part modeling, electrical courses, administering product data management, and many more. Please visit training.centralinnovation.com for the full list. If what you need is not there, we can still run it for you in a private mode. Nikesh will talk about it just in a few minutes. Now about our courses format. All the trainings you can find on our schedule are instructor-led, live online. So no matter what state people are in, they can join the same course from the convenience of their home. And most people see it as a big advantage because any of our courses run for several days in a row, 8 hours each day. And depending on time zone you're joining from, a course can start earlier than 8 a.m. or finish later than 6. So not having to commute to a training location is a big plus. You can instead save your time and energy for full focus on your learning. And for the group sizes, we keep them small. It is rarely more than 5 students. This way, our trainer can provide high-quality learning experience for each participant because they can pay attention to each student and answer each question within the scope of the training. Though it's important to know that if a question deviates from the course curriculum, a trainer might answer it just briefly. This is to respect our other students' time and to leave enough time to cover the planned content of the course. We stick to the lesson plans prescribed by Dassault Systems, the creators of SOLIDWORKS software, who also designed this learning content. You can ask our salespeople to provide you with a detailed table of contents, which lists all the lessons and what exactly each covers. It is recommended to look through this before you enroll in the course to confirm that what you need is covered in the course you're enrolled in. Or you might discover that the questions or topics you need are better addressed in another course. Another important bit is prerequisites. To make the best use of your time, please pick a course that matches your level of experience. If you don't have prior experience with SOLIDWORKS, Essentials is the best course to start with. And for enrolling in a more advanced course, such as Advanced Part Modeling, you need to either have prior experience with SOLIDWORKS or have taken our Essentials course first. And to help you pay less when taking several courses, we at Central Innovation introduced attractive bundle offering. These are called training passports, and I'll tell about it just in a couple of minutes. Let me first finish with the prerequisites. All our courses are hands-on, and we want to make sure that by the time training is over, you are confident doing things on your own. So you won't be just watching a trainer doing things, but you will be guided to follow along, and you will do a lot of exercises to practice. And for this, of course, you will need your SOLIDWORKS license on your computer during the training. When you enroll in the course, we assume that you have already purchased a license. If you don't have any license, or if there are any issues with accessing your own license on the day of your training, please let us know in advance, because Dassault Systems don't provide any temporary SOLIDWORKS licenses for training purposes. But we at Central Innovation understand that sometimes there will be situations when you will need a training while not having SOLIDWORKS license. For example, a new starter needs to learn SOLIDWORKS, but the existing company licenses are being used by other team members for some big project. Or your company haven't purchased SOLIDWORKS yet, but want to take a training first to see if it's the best fit. This is a valid approach because there's no better way to actually be convinced how good SOLIDWORKS is than experience it firsthand by taking SOLIDWORKS training. So for students with no access to their own licenses, we offer a solution, providing a remote access to our training computer for just a small extra fee. If you need it, please let us know when enrolling in a course, so we get it prepared for you. Now about our trainers. All our courses are run by certified, experienced field engineers with practical experience. When they don't run trainings, they, on a daily basis, work on practical problem solving, tasks and projects using SOLIDWORKS. We at Central Innovation strive to maintain the highest quality of our trainers and of each training, while also keeping our courses at a very reasonable price point for you. This takes a lot of careful resource planning. That's why it's very important that you also tell us about your training needs in advance. And once you are booked in the training, please put these days in your calendar. Please prioritize this. And if you need to reschedule, please notify us at least 1 week in advance. About our training materials. Each our course comes with a detailed, well-structured, high-quality book. As I mentioned, this is exclusive content available only to the participants of instructor-led trainings run by direct SOLIDWORKS partners like us. You can't purchase it separately anywhere. The trainer will walk you through this content step by step, and by the end of the course, everything in the book will make sense to you. Plus, you get to keep this manual and can always revisit for instructions to refresh your memory. The default format of the manual that comes with every hour course is an ebook. But due to copyright restrictions, you can't print it out. So if you prefer hard copy, please let us know in advance when purchasing a course, because hard copies come at some extra fee and take some time to deliver. This is because the exclusive rights of printing these books are with the publisher in the United States. But the hard copies are really worth the waiting because they are most convenient to use during and after training. And now, as I promised, I will talk about our exciting offering to make our trainings even more accessible and give you even more flexibility. This is called Training Passports. How does it work? You pre-purchase a fixed number of training days in advance and then redeem these pre-purchased days by enrolling any member of your team in any training you can find on our schedule. And this gives you multiple advantages. First, these pre-purchased training days have very good built-in discount as compared to buying courses individually. The more days, the better discount is, up to 36% if you buy a 20 days training passport. Let's say you want to take an assembly modeling course costing $1,650, but without prior experience with SOLIDWORKS, you first need to take a prerequisite essentials course, which costs another $2,200. And if buying these two courses individually, you would have paid almost $4,000. But instead, for $4,000, you can buy a 10 days training passport, which will not only cover essentials and sample modeling, but also, as a bonus, you will still have 2 days left to use, which you can use for enrolling in another 2 days course, for example, best practices. If you purchase these 3 courses one by one, you would have paid over $5,000. But by covering these 3 courses by training passport, you save $1,250. And for bigger teams, training passports create even better value. Let's say you want to upskill 40 members in advanced part modeling and best practices. If you purchase these courses for them individually, you would have spent over $12,000 on the whole team. But instead, just for $7,000, you can buy a 20 days training passport and redeem it on these 2 courses for each of your 4 staff. This way, you will save over $5,000. And the additional beauty of training passports is flexibility. You don't have to train all team members at once. You can pick from our schedule different training days for each of your team members. So while one is away on training, others remain available for you for your daily work. The only thing to be mindful of is passports are valid for 12 months. So please plan using them up before they expire to get the most value of the offering. I'm wrapping up here. Please go to trainingcentralinnovation.com to see all courses. If you are happy with the available options there, you can enroll straight away from the website and pay by credit card. Or you can reach out to our salespeople. They are always happy to answer any questions you might have or help you purchase and use the special training passport offering. And if the training you need is not on our schedule or doesn't quite cover what you need, our field services engineers are happy to run this training privately for your team, which gives you even more flexibility over dates, content, and possibly running the training face-to-face in our training room or on your premises. Over to Nikesh to tell more about our private trainings.
Thank you, Kate. Hi, everyone. I'm Nikesh. I'm the field services team leader here at Central Innovation. I'll be walking you through private training services and consulting services provided by Central Innovation. Private training is a training service catered for your organization. Private training at Center Innovation follows a structured process to ensure customer receives maximum value from their investment. You can see the diagram on the screen. Rather than immediately delivering a standard course, we first work closely with customer to understand their business, their challenges, and outcomes they are trying to achieve. This allows us to create a learning experience that is directly aligned with business requirements. Can we move on to next slide, please? Thanks. The process of private training begins when a customer makes a request through account manager. Account manager performs an initial assessment using a structured questionnaire to understand current challenges, software uses, and desired outcomes. We then organize a scoping discussion with one of our training experts to begin building a customized learning plan by identifying skill gaps and pain points. The discovery stage is one of the biggest differentiator between standard training and private training. Our specialists spend a 30-minute to 45 minutes meeting understanding customers team, how their process and workflows are set up, reviewing sample files, and identifying opportunities for improvement. This allows us to tailor the training based on customers' need rather than handing over full-length courses. One of the major advantages of private training is flexibility. Customer receives course outlines before scoping process begins and can identify topics most relevant to their business. They can combine selected lessons from various courses and create a focused program that addresses their specific engineering requirements. Once the training program has been developed, delivery can be tailored to suit the organization. Training can be delivered at customer site, at Center Innovation office, or remotely through instructor-led online sessions. The flexibility ensures organization can choose option that best supports their team and operational requirements. One of the most common questions we receive is how training content is selected. Prior to scoping meeting, we provide the customer with course outlines and lesson summaries from relevant courses. This allows customer to review the available content and identify topic they believe will be most beneficial for their team. During the scoping session, our training expert takes a step further by reviewing how the team currently works, discussing existing challenges, and analyzing sample files or projects where appropriate. Based on this discovery process, we work together with customer to select the lessons that will provide greatest value. For example, a customer may choose to combine lessons from SolidWorks Essentials, Advanced Assemblies, Simulation into a single customized training program. The final course, therefore, is not simply a collection of requested topics. It is a carefully designed learning path that balances the customer's priorities with recommendation from our experts to ensure training delivers meaningful business outcomes. Private training is more than a customized course. It's more of a collaborative process where we work with customer to understand their environment, design the right learning experience, and develop skills that can be applied immediately within the business. The result is faster capability development, greater engagement, and strong return on investment. Besides training, Center Innovation also provides expert consulting services. Training and consulting address two different but complementary questions. Training teaches people how to use the software, follow the recommended practices, and build individual skills. Consulting looks beyond individual commands and asks how technology should be applied across the organization. A user may know how to create configuration in SolidWorks for assemblies, but a business may still lack a consistent configuration strategy in their CAD management. Teams may be held by disconnected systems, duplicated efforts, or inconsistent workflows. Center Innovation consultants work alongside customers to understand those operating challenges and determine how process, system, and engineering practices can be improved. Training builds capability. Consulting applies the capability to real business problems. The greatest impact comes when both are combined. We have identified some consulting areas where central innovation can help our customers. The first consulting area is workflow and process optimization. We begin by identifying how work currently moves through the organization. We then analyze where delays, manual steps, duplicated information, or unclear responsibilities are creating friction. This may involve reviewing design workflows, drawing and release process, BOM creation, engineering changes, file management, or approval routines. A common example is a repetitive manual creation of PDFs, DXF, step files, and manufacturing information. Each manual handoff consumes engineering time and creates opportunity for inconsistency. Our objective is to improve and standardize the complete workflow, not simply optimize in one area. The result should be a repeatable process with clearer ownership, fewer manual steps, and more reliable information moving between engineering and manufacturing. Let's move on to the second area of consulting. Sometimes challenge is highly technical. A team may already understand SolidWorks, but dealing with very large assemblies or slow rebuild performance, a complex product that requires a more effective modeling strategy. Our consultants can help assess assembly structure, performance bottlenecks, and rebuild strategy around it. We can also advise on advanced modeling methods, templates, standards, design automation, and specialized technical tools. The engagement begins with a clearly defined objective and scope, so the team understands the expected outcome and the pathway to achieve it. Bringing in experienced technical support reduces internal trial and error. It helps the team reach a robust solution faster while transferring practical knowledge that can be applied to future projects. Next on the list is SolidWorks PDM and data management. PDM, as in product data management, often begins as a way to control the file versions, but it quickly becomes a broader data management business process question. Customers need to decide how Vault should be structured, how revisions and approvals should operate, who can access the different information, and how engineering data should connect with downstreaming systems. Our consultants can assist with implementation of SolidWorks PDM system, which includes setting up Vault architecture, workflows, permissions, BOM integration, legacy data migration, troubleshooting, and system health. The goal is to move from simply storing files to managing engineering information in a controlled and useful way. A well-configured PDM environment should support the way the team works, not create additional administration job or force people to develop workarounds. It should provide clear ownership, more reliable data, and better visibility across the organization. Repetitive engineering activity is one of the clearest opportunity to improve productivity. Engineers may repeatedly create similar designs, export the same information in several formats, or enter identical metadata into different systems. Those activities consume skill capacity without adding equivalent engineering value. Our consultants help identify high-frequency, rule-based work that can be streamlined through SolidWorks API, macros, DriveWorks automation, automated documentation, or PDM workflow automation. The objective is not to automate for its own sake. We start with a focused opportunity. Let's say a task repeated 20, 50, or 100 times, where removing one manual step can improve speed, quality, and consistency. This can give engineers more time for higher value decisions. A useful question to consider is, what repetitive task does your engineers complain about most today? Next, we have troubleshooting, audits, and health check. Consulting services can also help identify root cause of performance and reliability issues. This may involve SolidWorks performance, large assembly bottlenecks, PDM performance, Vault health, data quality, or system configuration. Importantly, an engagement does not need to begin after a failure has occurred. A proactive health check can identify risks before they disrupt engineering operations. We can also assess upgrade readiness, review workflows, and compare the current environment with recommended practices. The aim is to replace assumption with evidence. Once the underlying case is understood, The organization can prioritize the right corrective action, reduce operational risk, and avoid investing time in changes that do not need to address the actual problem. Our consulting approach follows a structured journey focused on business outcomes. We begin discovering the problem and understanding the current environment. Then we analyze the process, system data to identify root cause and improvement opportunities. From there, we recommend a practical target workflow and agree on priorities. Implementation may involve configuration, automation, integration, documentation, or capability development. The final step is to measure outcome. Depending on engagement, that could mean reduced manual work, shorter design cycles, fewer errors, better data quality, or improved visibility. This structure ensures the data engagement does not end with just a setting change or tool being installed. Rather, it creates a practical improvement that the team can adopt and business can sustain. This example illustrates differences consulting can make in an organization. In the current state, engineers may create manufacturing outputs manually, enter the same information more than once, and distribute different versions of engineering data. They may also spend time changing approvals or confirming project status. SolidWorks itself may not be the problem. The issue is often surrounding process and hands-off between people and systems. By reviewing that end-to-end workflow, we can identify standardization, PDM, and automation can create strong future state. Outputs can be generated consistently, revision can be controlled, information can be entered once, and team can gain clear visibility of status and ownership. The result is less administration, fewer avoidable errors, and faster delivery. The key question I would like to ask you today is, what is stopping your engineering team from being more productive today? Whether the starting point is workflow optimization, a complex CAD challenge, PDM automation, or system health, the goal is same: improve the organization's performance. Customers engage central innovation to reduce friction, solve difficult technical problem, improve engineering data, automate repetitive work, and reduce operational risk. Sustainable improvement depends on people. Training builds software capability. Consulting defines and improves the process. Implementation puts the solution into operation, and ongoing support helps sustain it. The combination allows central innovation to work with customers across complete improvement journey. The key message is simple. We are not only helping customers use engineering tools, we are helping them create more connected, repeatable, and scalable engineering outcomes. The next step is focused conversation about your current workflow and business outcome you want to achieve. Thank you, everyone. That's all for me today. I would like to pass on to Dave for the wrap up.
Thanks so much, Nikesh. Super comprehensive there. Thank you. Okay, so just to wrap all of this up, team, instructor-led courses build core and specialist skills, right? You heard that from Kate, and you've also heard little bits about it from Ralph and Nikesh. Training passports add the flexibility for instructor-led courses across the year. Solid Professor supports continuous and targeted development, and private training aligns content to the business, and consulting services address technical or workflow challenges beyond just the standard course content. So again, you have to start with the capability gap and the intended business outcome, then choose the most relevant way to close it. So just to sum up, first you need to define where stronger capability would make the biggest difference in your business. Secondly, you have to diagnose the current position rather than relying only on assumptions. Thirdly, you need to build a practical plan using the most appropriate mix of learning and support. There's no other provider of SolidWorks training in ANZ that can do it for you this way. Our exclusive access to Solid Professor provides a gateway into truly understanding where your team are at and the guidance that you need to get them where they need to be. Our instructor-led trainings are delivered by ANZ-based experts with ANZ market experience. Our 30+ years of experience in the manufacturing design marketplace actually enables us to provide customised and specific help that you need. So we're not here to just throw random things at you that you might need or might not. Our role is actually to help map the requirement before recommending training to you. So the investment is focused on the people, the skills, and the outcomes that matter most to you. Finally, to help you take the next step, we've got an exclusive offer for you for people who have attended this webinar that gives you amazing value access to our 5, 10, and 20-day training passports, access to Solid Professor, and access to a SolidWorks license as well. So this enables you to get a new license, access your team member capability, and ensure they get the development that they need across a full year. If it's something that you're interested in, you should speak with your Central Innovation Account Manager so that we can map the right courses and passport size to your team's needs. I want to thank you all for joining us, and I want to thank Ralph and Kate and Nikesh for sharing their expertise. And I think now it's time to have a look at the Q&A. So Alice, did you want me to handle that, or do you want to handle that for us?
Yeah, Dave, go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Just waiting for the Q&A to come up now. Correct me if I'm wrong, team, but it looks like it's there's only one question there. So is the portfolio tied to the organisation or the individual? When we're talking about portfolio, I'm going to assume that that's Solid Professor. Ralph, are you able to comment on that for us?
Oh yeah, I actually provided
you
an
already
answer.
have. Yes.
Yep. So it's tied to the individual user, not the organization. So, however, let's say once the employee leaves, then the company could unassign the license. So, yep, there you go. That removes their access to Solid Professor and portfolio. So,
Right.
hope that answers your question, Brandon.
Thank you, mate. Thank you, Brandon, for asking that question. I'll give people an opportunity to add some more questions right now if they're coming to mind. While we're waiting for that, I just wanted to share a story from the last week or two where we've actually been helping out a number of customers over in WA who have the main challenge is finding the talent that they need to be able to address the work that they've got. So the 5-day passport pack that we have on the screen there has become particularly useful in WA because what we're doing is using the skills analyzer to assess new recruits or even people in the interview process to get a full and clear understanding of what their actual SolidWorks design capability is. Then we've got access to a 3-month term license, which usually covers a probation period for a new starter in your business, so you're not over-invested in that individual. And then you've got the 5-day training passport, which once you do the skills analyzer and understand where that team member is, you can take advantage of that 5-day passport to get them to do the courses that we have available that are specific to their requirements. So Kate mentioned earlier the value that you get just by having the training passport. What this 5-day passport pack does is actually add Solid Professor and SolidWorks license access to that. And you can see on the screen there, the savings are quite significant. So if that's something that you think would be useful for your business, again, reach out to your Central Innovation Account Manager, and they'll work with you to ensure that you understand exactly what you need and that you get what you need and none of what you don't. The 10-day passport pack takes it a little bit further and gives you access to a 1-year SOLIDWORKS design license. And the 20-day pack, that's for the bigger teams that need some help with their development. So I can't see any more questions in the Q&A section.
There's actually one, Dave.
There is?
Yeah.
You read that out for me?
Here, from Caleb, can you apply for a multiple user passport pack? I believe that's a yes, right?
Yeah, yes. The simplest way to put it is if the pack doesn't suit you exactly, then we're happy to talk to you about putting together a pack that actually addresses your exact needs, right? We're not precious about that. We believe that these packs are the ones that are the most popular and most useful based on all the customers that we're talking to on a day-to-day basis. But if you need something specific, that's what we're here talking about, right? The first thing you need to do is engage with your Central Innovation Account Manager, go through the process of understanding what it is that you believe you require, validate that, and then we can put together an offer for you that's actually going to deliver value to your business. So thanks for asking that question too, Caleb. I can see one more there, I think. Does the passport pack tie to an organisation SOLIDWORKS license? Kate, can you answer that one for me?
You're on mute, Kate.
Yeah. Well, if by passport pack you mean just training passport, then regardless of whether you do have organization SOLIDWORKS license or even if you don't have a SOLIDWORKS license, as I mentioned, you can still benefit from the training passport because you can use the training days while using our training computer. Or you might have your own license in the organization and you will still be able to use the training passport. And if you are talking about the training, the passport pack, then it's probably up to Dave to answer about this one.
Yeah, sure.
Because every pack comes with one SOLIDWORKS design license.
Yeah, but the training passport is not linked exclusively to the license, right? So that's the whole point of the training passport at the end of the day. You can access the days available in that passport for any of our instructor-led courses over the course of a year. So whether you've got the license or not, as Kate said. So thanks again, Caleb, for asking that one, keeping us on our toes. Now, I can't see any more there. So
there's one as well, Dave.
There is one more? Why aren't I seeing?
From Sri. Yeah, you could just, It says here, is registration on SOLIDWORKS essential to get a training course on SOLIDWORKS Essentials training?
No. So Solid Professor access is separate to our instructor-led courses. So that instructor-led course that you just mentioned, SOLIDWORKS Essentials, we run that on a monthly basis, and you can purchase that outright. You can take advantage of it by using a training passport, but it's not tied into the use of Solid Professor.
Yeah, but Solid Professor is helpful, especially when
sure is.
Yeah, when you want to assess your capabilities and stuff. So yeah,
indeed,
want to try it out, skills and LISA tests.
Yeah, well, if it is essential training, if it's essentials trainings, it's assumed that the individual didn't have the prior experience with SOLIDWORKS anyways. So yeah, I probably even the skill analyzer wouldn't be that much needed in this way for essentials training specifically.
That's right, Kate. Thank you. Caleb's asking how you apply for the instructor-led training. Nice and simple. You can visit training.centralinnovation.com to see what's available and coming up in the calendar. But the easiest thing to do is reach out to your Central Innovation Account Manager and ask them for help enrolling into any of those courses that are there. And Sri said, thank you. You're welcome, mate. No problem at all. Hope we could help. So I believe that's it, team. I figured out how to work the Q&A and I can't see anything else in there. So again, remember, there's no other provider in ANZ that can help you achieve what you need to achieve this way. Central Innovation has exclusive access to Solid Professor, which is where the skills analyzer comes from. We have locally based, local market expertise delivering our certified training sessions, instructor-led, and we've got 30 years of experience in the marketplace to really go above and beyond when it comes to customized training and consulting to help your business be more productive, more efficient, more profitable, and to be able to compete in the marketplace. You can't win a gold medal without first training hard for it and preparing for it. You can't even compete at an above average level if you haven't invested that time and effort into training and preparation. So we hope that's helpful for you. We hope that we've provided you some insights into how to make your businesses better. And as I said, if you need anything else, reach out to your Central Innovation account manager. So thank you very much, everybody. Signing off for now. Dave Martin, thanks for listening. Cheers.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers.